Hello, everybody, and welcome to our second featured artist of our Artist Spotlight series. It's February, and that means our Artist Spotlight is on the wonderful Susan Berry and her amazing glass work. Welcome, Susan. Thank you so much for being with us.
Oh, hi, Marina. Thank you for having me. I'm honored.
Yay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's kick it off. And why don't you tell us who you are and what you do?
Okay, well, my name is Susan Berry. I've been doing glass art for about 40 years, if not over. I work in a couple different types of glass mediums. Fusing glass is presently my consuming job, and stained glass and mosaics. I work right now in a art center here in Florida that I teach intermediate to advanced people in glass fusing. They do amazing work, and they actually almost teach me sometimes. And then in the summer months, I'm teaching classes at the TI Art Center, which is wonderful, and that's in glass mosaics and stained glass also. So that's my gig
Yay.
right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you have a class this year, right?
I
I'm
have a
pretty sure.
couple, yeah,
Yeah.
we have a couple mosaics, and I think at least one stained glass. It is a 2-day class, so it might be closer to the end of the season. I think September on that one. Yeah, so
Perfect. And just a little plug there. So anybody interested in taking one of Susan's classes, the classes will be posted shortly up on the website and our catalog will be out soon. And any questions can go to Marcia in the office. So okay, Susan, how did you choose your medium and why? Why glass?
well, I had to think about this story because it is a funny story. I think I traveled with my family to New York and saw my first Tiffany, and I decided that was something I had to do. I've always been an arts and craft person, and my room was scattered with twigs and pine cones and anything I could develop at that
Mhm.
age. I think it was around 14 years old at the time. So when I came back from seeing this Tiffany, I decided that I really wanted to make one. And please excuse me because I had a lot of respiratory this year, along with everyone else.
Mhm.
So I came back and I decided I'm going to make a Tiffany. Well, our means of doing glass back then was nothing. And so I decided I'm going to make it out of coat hangers. So I cut those coat hangers all up, went down to my father's shop with his little propane tank and soldered all the pieces of this Tiffany. And it was a lot of shape of a
Wow.
Tiffany, but it had no glass. I put
Wow.
a light socket in it. I put a cord on it. It hung in my room for probably 5 years. I got into my 20s. I met a girl that was teaching classes out of her home studio, and she had said she'd only take 2 people. And I was, I'm in. I have to do this. And so I started there with her, and it was an 8-month class that went from doing a sun catcher that I still keep in my studio to remind me how far I've come. And it evolved into a stained glass panel that was like 24 by 36 that is in my cottage at the islands,
Mhm.
as we speak. I had built a door to accommodate this
Wow.
glass. And then finally, at the end of that session, I built a Baroque 22-inch Tiffany, so
Tiffany.
which I still have. And so that was my love. And so that's what I did for many years, probably 15 years. And fusing glass was not a thing back then. And I was my stained glass supplier had offered a workshop with a California designer coming in and in glass fusing. This sounded like something I might want to do,
Yeah.
another medium. So I got started, went to that class, loved it, came back, bought a kiln, which are not cheap, but at the time it was all I could invest in to get this kiln. And yeah, and then I started to do fuse glass, and I said it's like almost was instant gratification,
Yeah.
really, in the sense that you did have to wait for kiln time. Excuse me. But I was able to build something. Stained glass is very time consuming, and I loved the idea that I could melt glass and
Mhm.
I could make it look amazing with all the amazing colors that existed. So that's where I ended up. And then I just started to learn more and more through the years and get better at it. And I'd say right now I've got probably a 98% success rate in the kiln where I don't have breakage anymore. I don't
Wow.
burn things up anymore.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Exploding glass doesn't sound like fun.
yeah, no, no, and it takes a while to learn it. It's more than just the glass. It's learning how glass thinks and how
Hmm.
it wants to heat and to
Yeah.
come up with a successful piece.
Yeah.
So.
Wow. So what kind of objects do you tend to make the most? Is it mostly stained glass or?
No, I actually we what's coming out now is so many because fusing has become so popular. Many manufacturers have developed amazing molds. This one technique that I'm doing right now presently is called silk mat, and it's done where you actually can make your own mold. And so this is the technique that I'm going with right now that I'm absolutely loving. I
Mhm.
went to Michael's and I bought a styrofoam mannequin head for
Mhm.
$4.59. And I came back and I molded this. You take this fabric, you put a rigidizer on it, you mold it over top of the mold that you choose, and then it hardens, and then you have a rock hard mold to actually melt your glass over. And
Wow.
so that one of the pictures that will be on the website is of my Lady of the Island, and that is all done in glass, and I'm really loving that. So I bought a man.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do a man, and I have a very great idea for that you would be familiar with because of the weave I did. So
Yeah.
yeah, so that's also I think one of the pictures I sent, the glass weaving, and I intend to slump over top of the man. So
Oh,
yeah.
neat.
So it's very
Neat.
abstract. I mean, they're trying to get away from the flat panel,
Mhm.
flat dishes, bowls, whatever. They're
Yeah.
great and they
Yeah.
are wonderful to have, but it's so neat to see what other things glass will do.
Right. To get like some dimension. And I love the draping kind of effect that you do with your glass is really remarkable.
The draping is great. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
The
lot of
favorite thing
fun.
to do. Yeah. Yeah. So, and that's
And
what I,
I've seen I've seen a number of your pieces that are kind of like a square tile shape that you hang on the wall too, that you've mounted, and those are, yeah, fabulous. And I can imagine people could hang those anywhere. All
yeah, they are so, and I don't make them super large. So it's not like nobody
right.
likes to have their decor picked out. Nobody wants you to buy your art, them. So they're small enough that people like, oh, I've got a perfect spot in a hall for that.
Yeah.
Oh, and they're beautiful. Yeah,
Yeah. And I have to say, like, one of the things that I'm always looking for is art that would could withstand humid places. So,
right,
I mean, I'm not just saying like in a bathroom, but in more like tropical environments. Um,
right,
Paper work can mold and fall
exactly.
apart, and it's really depressing because I've had that happen to my own art. So I'm always looking for other kinds of art that you can hang on the wall that can withstand all temperatures, and things like your glass pieces would be perfect
Yeah, yep, they
there.
do work just about everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yep.
awesome.
Mm.
Let's see. How would you say, I mean, I guess you kind of have answered this already, but how your practice has changed over time. So it kind of sounds like your technique has
Yeah,
shifted.
yeah. I go with everything. I'm just interested in every aspect. Glass powders. This is something that always loved. It's amazing what you can do with these jars of glass powders and add them to other powders and mix colors and then you fire them. So that's one aspect of that I'm always doing as well. It requires a respirator. You don't. It's
Right.
something I can't do unless I have an isolated class because everybody should have a respirator. These powder particles are not good to breathe. So
Mhm.
that's one thing. A couple weeks ago, I think it was actually in February, I took Tim Carey's class. He's from California, and he actually, if anybody's ever heard of the movie that they produced, um, oh my gosh, now I'm going to think of it. It's always been on my mind about Frit. Uh,
Right.
it's left me. Anyway,
No
he
worries.
he it was offering a class this winter, and of course I had to take that. And it's actually what he calls painting with frit. Frit is fine particles of glass, not as fine as powder, but it does allow you to fire it, and it makes the colors in any design you choose. And that's what we did in February, and that was a very cool class, and I intend to take more of his classes because
Oh, neat.
holy frit, holy frit,
Holy frick.
holy frit. I couldn't get the
Oh,
whole.
that's, yeah. Oh, now
That was his
I haven't heard
movie.
of it. I'll have
Yeah,
to see it.
I think it's going to be on Netflix actually. So
Oh, cool.
yeah, it's worth watching because he's a hoot anyway. He's very funny
Yeah.
and he's very talented. He made the largest stained glass window in the world.
Oh my.
Him along with a collaborator, and so this is what the movie's about: is his
Oh,
experience
cool.
of creating this. And he
Yeah,
worked with
I'm definitely into the, I don't know. Of course, there's the Corning Museum of Glass. Everyone needs to go there at least once. It's such a fabulous museum.
it is.
It's
And,
so great.
and I don't even want to admit this, but do you know that I've never been there?
Oh, you have to get
Well,
there.
you know,
Oh my gosh.
I'm in the summer, I'm on the river, and so
Yeah. It is a bit of a drive from where we are,
it
but
is.
it
Yeah,
is worth it.
even
Make
if
a
it's
trip.
even if it's fall, I'm going to do it.
It
I'm
is
hoping
so
so.
amazing. And I was just thinking you were talking about Netflix and you were talking about that show and there's the I think they call it, is it Blown
Blown away.
Away? Yeah, the glass
The new
show.
one's out now. I know I haven't seen it yet.
It's
I haven't had time to
it's
sit.
so much fun for anybody who likes reality shows, but you know, with a creative edge, it's all about glass blowers being
Yeah,
presented challenges, and the winner gets I think it's a artist in residency at the Corning Museum of Glass. So that's pretty
yes,
fun.
isn't that amazing? Yeah,
It's so cool.
I love that.
Okay, Susan, so what subjects inspire you? What's the themes and the topics you like in your work?
You know, that was the toughest question I was asked because I'm so all over the board in what I want to do. It's
Mhm.
I see something in nature and I say, oh, I can produce that in glass. Everything I look at transfers into a glass piece.
Yeah.
That's really, encompasses everything. I mean, who wouldn't know I'd go to Michael's and find a styrofoam head?
All right.
And that would be what I would use. So it's just a lot of that.
Yeah.
Looking
Or like
around.
our tartan, the piece that you did of the Thousand Islands tartan.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's something that I mean, I love tartans as it is, and
Mhm.
after I started it, I was so happy with it. I loved it. So
Yeah.
that will take me into more of the glass weaves. I actually have some things that for the along the
Ye
river's edge this
Yay,
year.
yay.
So,
And the submissions are now open for Along the River's Edge.
oh,
There's
are they okay?
another plug in there.
Yeah,
Uh,
good.
it's up on our website now. Um, okay, so what is your dream project?
My dream project. Well,
Do you
every
want
dream
to make an
dream.
even bigger stained glass?
Well, big is always not necessarily the best, I found. Sometimes it's
Also hard to like, where are
cumbersome
you
and
gonna put that?
yeah, yeah. I think that being said, I find that I want to just explore all the different aspects of glass. I can't pinpoint what I would really like to do at this stage. Probably just keep continuing my education in glass
Mhm.
and learning, the most I can.
Yeah.
Uh, it's very rewarding when I work with my, students and they just, gravitate to new ideas
Mm.
and oh, I never knew that. Oh, I never knew that. I love that part of things,
Right.
you know.
See
And
those
it teaches,
sparks flying. Yeah.
yeah,
So
exactly. I love
mhm.
teaching, and I love creating. I fortunately can't do everything all at once, but it's we get time. Time is probably my biggest challenge. Time
Yeah.
and color selection. Color selection is huge.
Mhm.
Even I'm sure painting artists have the same issues. But when you look at a piece, what do I want that to, reflect? What do I want it to look like when in the end? So I think probably colors are a big challenge too. But
Mhm.
yeah, I think this piece with that I'm going to be doing for the weaves, it's going to be a lot larger.
Mhm.
It's going to be probably 17-inch
Mhm.
opposed to a very small piece, and because the head is going to be molded. So this is what I'm
Oh,
looking at for
cool.
the summer months for
Yeah.
the along the river's edge. So that's
Oh,
going to be a pretty
neat.
big project.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
And That makes me think, is it hard for you to source your materials? Do you have to have everything shipped to you, or do you have like a local
No,
receipt?
actually, this is a good story. When I started in stained glass, if you've ever heard of bullseye glass, it is known all over the world. It's handmade in Portland, Oregon, and
Mhm,
it's a lot more expensive than any glass, but it is the kingpin of glass.
mhm,
And we had a distributor in Buffalo, still have the distributor, but they stopped carrying the bullseye, and so I stopped using it, midstream.
mhm,
And when I started to use the oceanside glass, which is very beautiful too. It's an easier glass to work with. It's got beautiful, vibrant colors, a little less expensive. So, I pretty much up north, that's what I was using. Well, when I started to work at the Arts Bonita, which was 6 years ago, they all they used was bullseye. And I was like, I'm back. I'm back.
oh,
So I in Florida, they opened up a bullseye distributorship. So now, whenever I mean, you don't want to look at my guest bedrooms. I have sheets and sheets and sheets of glass that I buy through the center now. So I pretty much keep them here. Two glasses don't mix. So the bullseye glass would not mix with the oceanside glass anyway. And it's really, there's incompatibility in
mhm,
coefficients. And so I try to keep them separate anyway. So my majority of my bullseye glass work is done in Florida, and the other being up in New York. So it's,
mhm.
it's a good medium. I like it.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. So, and
That's cool.
there is yeah, we're lucky. We do have good resources for
Yeah,
glass.
seriously. 'Cause I'm thinking where we are, I'm like, I can't think of anywhere nearby off the
I
top of my
think
head.
I think there's some place in Syracuse, but I've never explored it. So when
Mhm.
I'm back and forth to Buffalo, I'll usually always hit Sunshine Glasses where I
Yeah,
get glass there. And
yeah,
yeah, so
yeah. Well, cool. Okay. And here we have one final question for you. What's the biggest challenge of being an artist? What do you think?
time, time. Um, it's almost getting easier in a way because people are starting to appreciate the arts more, and starting to realize real things.
Mhm,
To read between the lines. That's what I'm saying. People want something that is from the heart and soul, and that's what artwork is.
mhm.
It's very much a personal. Uh, I this year was my first year at the Clayton Farmers Market last summer, and that it was
Yeah,
very, very cool. I
yeah.
met so many great people, and I met people that looked at my work and said, "I want that, I want that, I want that," and I was like, it was an
Yay.
unbelievable kind of experience because
Yeah,
that's what they wanted. They didn't.
yeah,
There wasn't anything else that interested them but the arts, whether it
yeah.
was painting art that Cheryl did or my glass. So that was very, very cool. So
Oh,
yeah, probably getting the word out to
mhm,
people. And I think I gave you all of my social media
mhm,
sites that I'm on, and that will help, always helps. And I do have a lot of people, on my website, I do have a lot of people contact me. And I say this, anybody that wants to contact me, even to ask questions about glass, I'm on many forums. I'm obviously on the Bullseye Forum, all the fusing forums. I follow them all, Silk Wet Forum. But if anybody does want to reach out and ask me questions about their projects or their kilns, I would be more than happy to answer them. So
fabulous. And of course, take your classes later this year.
absolutely, yep,
Yes.
I
Or see
know.
you at the farmer's market.
Yes, exactly, exactly. Yep,
Wonderful.
and 10 to 4 on Thursdays, if
And
if
if we're
weather, yeah,
Thursday.
weather permitting, of course.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
a fair weather artist. No wind and no rain.
Well, great. I am so happy that you took the time to tell us about yourself and your craft. And for everybody watching, I will be posting pictures of Susan's work as well as a recording of this video and links to her social media and website on our website. And thank you so much, Susan. This was
Okay, Nina,
fabulous. We look
thank
forward to
you so
seeing you
much.
later this season.
I'll see you in May.
Bye.
Okay, bye.